Hello, this is Palicopadge and welcome to a little update video which I have titled Where the bloody hell are your videos this week? Well, very simple really. Hopefully, if you're a regular, you caught my vlog on what I was about to do at the end of April, start of May, which was to upgrade my computer. And well, to put it rather bluntly, it hasn't all gone according to plan. It is now, as you can see, working, but there are certain things which I've had to do, well, I might as well bore you here if you're interested. I've just upgraded the computer. It now has a i7 6700K in there, which isn't overclocked as it stands right now, but I will be overclocking it in a day or so. I just want to make sure it's all nice and stable and everything's working okay. I've now got 32 gig of RAM running at 2800 megahertz, again if that sort of interests you, along with a new boot drive SSD to go with my old SSD, which is a little bit bigger, so I've got a little bit more memory to play with, and it also means when I'm rendering and compressing videos, I can do it from one drive to another, as opposed to having to do it all on the one drive and put too much unnecessary pressure on the one drive. So again, that should also help from a quality of life situation on my side of things. Hopefully you guys won't see anything different, but the reason that there has been no videos for the past couple of days and won't be for the next week is because I ran into a bit of an issue with my new motherboard. Now I've got a gigabyte motherboard now. I used to have an Asus one, which it was okay. I wasn't a big fan of the software which came with it, and I thought I'd try a different brand. I've never had a gigabyte one before, and it's the GAZ170Z Ultra Gaming. So it's like the tip-top one for what I need, rather than going to the 270 for the new 770s, which was never going to be a thing for me. I didn't see the point of spending that little bit of extra money on a newer chip when there was not that much to gain from my perspective. I'd rather save the money. So I decided to instead save that money and put it towards an SSD. So that's why I've got that. But anyway, I digress. I had an issue when reinstalling Windows 7. Now, I never updated to Windows 10 because I had such an old setup of a system. I had it for 4 years before I actually went about doing this upgrade. So I had 4 years worth of crap pretty much on my computer, which I didn't have the time or the patience to actually sit down and sort out what would be compatible with Windows 10 and what wouldn't be. So I just thought, oh, it'd be fine. Yeah, Windows 7, it's compatible. I'll be okay. And I came across this unusual glitch, which I spent 3 days looking at the internet to try and find a solution for, where everything would install on Windows fine, and I'd install the motherboard drivers, no problems whatsoever, and I could access the internet, but I couldn't download or upload. It would peak at about 17 meg, which is ridiculous because I've never got 17 meg download speeds where I am, and then just bottom out over about 2 seconds and just stop. And I tried everything to fix this problem. I tried just installing the motherboard drivers by themselves without having the software going on top, which the driver disk installs. I tried downloading the latest motherboard drivers off the internet and bringing them home from work and installing those, thinking it was that. I even went out and bought a separate Ethernet card to plug into my computer, thinking I might have a faulty Ethernet port on my new motherboard. It turns out that what it was Windows just wasn't compatible with my motherboard. Now that sounds a bit stupid because you'd think that a Z170 chipboard would be okay with Windows 7, but I think my issue was I had a Windows Home Edition disc which was dated 2011, which with only the Service Pack 1 on, so it had none of the updates which have been drip fed to us for the past 4 years or 5 years or 6 years. So I think with that setup of Windows, it just would not be compatible with my Ethernet driver for whatever reason. And in the end, I had to bite the bullet and go out and buy Windows 10 Home Edition. So now I'm having to sit down and pick up what's been added since Windows 8 and onto Windows 10. Thankfully, we've got Windows 8 at work, and I hate it. I think it's absolutely rubbish. But Windows 10, thankfully, seems to be the go-between between Windows 7 and Windows 8. So it's not that bad, but there are certain things I'm still getting used to. The ads just thrown around Windows 10 everywhere are absolutely ridiculous. Thankfully, I've looked at a few news articles and I managed to shut the majority of them down, and the computer is pretty much the way I want it to work. But there are certain things which I had which are older versions of certain software. For instance, I was using FreeMake video converter because I just found it was very simple to use. And you did have that splash screen which came up with FreeMake at the end. And again, I found a workaround where I could put my little picture up. So if you see any of my older videos, you'll see there's a little picture right at the end after the links disappear, where it's just a little thumbs up, which is the Palicopadge Plays cartoon, which just pops up, which was in replacement for that. But I've just downloaded the latest FreeMake, and it puts a splash screen at the start and the end, which is very annoying. So I'm getting rid of that, and I have been doing my research on different compression software which I can use, and I'm going to go for Handbrake now, but it means learning that. And I've also had to make sure that my video editing software is all working okay, because that's quite old. And thankfully, touch wood, I have to touch the school here because there's no wood around me, everything seems to be working okay. Now, there are a few things I need to mess about with, like volume checks, which is partly a reason why I'm doing this video now. As you can see, I've got Project Zomboid in the background working away. I'm just checking that everything seems to be as it should be. And hopefully, from a quality perspective on your side of things, you're not going to notice much difference. But it is meaning that I'm having to sort of tweak things and turn things up, turn things down, just to get it the way I want it, to make sure that it's up to my standard, which isn't the highest by all means, but it is, you know, I do like to, I'm not, well, I suppose I am a perfectionist. I'm sure the girlfriend would call me a perfectionist, but I believe there's a proper way of doing things. So I'm just making sure that it all works okay, really. So because of this, I actually haven't had any uploads on this computer. The last week and a half of videos you saw before the great stop on Saturday have actually been scheduled and have been uploaded on YouTube for the past 2.5 weeks, because I wanted to cover myself, thinking that that week and a bit's grace that I had would have been enough to have reinstall all my software and get it all working, and then it'd be fluent for you guys. But sadly, it hasn't worked out like that. So I'm guessing this is just a video to say, be patient. I will be back, hopefully, to full steam as of next week. As it stands, I have managed to get my save files copied over from my old machine, or my old setup, which I managed to put on a USB stick, for both Neo Scavenger and the Curious Expedition. So as far as the playthrough for Neo Scavenger is concerned, that's going to carry on as normal. The Curious Expedition, I've still got all the Explorers open, so if anything gets added to that, I can just pick it up from where we left off there. Yeah, I'm ready to rock. The past couple of days, I have spent a long time going through my Steam library, picking out all the games I want to bring to you guys, be it in a proper playthrough or a Padge Plays, either YOLO or Indie Edition. And I've also got a backlog of about 15 or 16 games on my Keymailer account of developers who've given me keys to their games, which again I'd like to bring to the channel at some point. So the quantity is there, the quality hopefully will still be there, and my jibber jabbering will be as fluent as always, if not, you know, a little bit long-winded, but hey, that's me. And yeah, I'm hoping that it's all going to be legit and we're all going to be getting on very nicely. So if you've got this far into the video, if you're noticing anything different, be it volume or anything like that, just be patient. If you think it's really far down and something needs to be said, then by all means tell me about it. But I like to think that this is the right volume for this video. So let me know, and hopefully, as I said, as of next Monday, we'll be launching off with another episode of Neo Scavenger. Then I've got another game lined up in the YOLO edition, and I've also got a couple of indie games I want to bring to you in some form or other. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for watching. As always, a like is appreciated, and I'll catch you very, very soon. Take it easy.